Who is more likely to get up in front of a crowd and sing karaoke? Sarah, what would your karaoke song be?
I was gonna say it depends on if it's tequila or vodka.
Yeah, that's also true.
So
Maybe Cardi B if it's tequila.
This is Rangers Deep in the Heart, your all-access pass to life in the big leagues with personal moments and heart-to-heart chats with Rangers players, their families, and staff. This show is brought to you by Justin Boots, the official boot of the Texas Rangers. I'm your host, Hannah Wing. Welcome into Season 2, Episode 7 of Rangers Deep in the Heart. I'm really excited about today's episode because I'm here with Rangers reliever Shawn Armstrong and his wife, Sarah. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hello.
Thanks for joining us. How's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good. So we're filming this on August 8th, which meant yesterday was an off day. How did you guys spend your off day? I'm sure they're few and far in between. So what did you do?
I feel like normally we try to actually plan stuff and do a lot, but we kind of hung out yesterday and just chilled.
Nice.
Outside time with Declan. They've been playing a lot of t-ball, golf, and stuff like that.
So how did you guys meet? You're already laughing, so this is going to be good.
Well, I'll start it off. We actually met in Greenville, North Carolina, East Carolina University.
Yeah, college.
I actually got drafted and ended up signing. Was already moved in my college apartment. Everything had to move out. Came back from the traditional stuff, and ironically, one of her best friends, Ashley White, had a open room, and I was like, can I move in with be one of the girls for the off season? So I lived with 3 girls that off season, and ironically, they were all super close with Sarah, and we were kind of around each other a lot. And she was actually dating someone
Yeah, I
at
was
the
in
time.
a relationship.
So we were just kind of acquainted for 3 or 4 months, and her ex-boyfriend ended up splitting up, and we decided to go on a date a couple of days later, and
He was supposed to be a rebound, basically.
yeah.
That's amazing.
Yep. So that's true.
Ended up sticking.
So you lived with 3 girls
Yes.
for several months. What were your key takeaways from that experience?
Very eventful to say the least. But,
He became quite the cook, though.
yeah,
Cook for everyone. That was like his like.
yeah. They're like, you
deal
don't have
to
to pay
stay.
rent. You just buy groceries, cook food, and wash dishes. And I was like,
He domesticated him.
sounds like a great deal for me. So we ended up buying a grill together and literally cooked out every night. And it was also the area we were in. There was probably 5 or 6 baseball houses across, like, within the apartment complex, and then her and all the Ratchet Rocky Mount friends that we hung out with.
Did you just call your wife Ratchet?
I'll say it that way. The baseball and the Rocky Mount grew. It was like glue. We couldn't kind of be more opposites, but I think opposites attract as far as like the groups. And still to this day, I think we're some of the closest like groups of friends, even 15, 16 years
Yeah.
ago. It was just like kind
Very
of
close-knit.
party
for
by
sure.
acquaintance, but then we also were in each other's weddings. We're at everyone's wedding, so like we still stay in contact and live honestly within like 10 minutes of one another. The majority of us all live there, so
How fun.
yeah.
I know.
So it's a really good group and
Raising babies together.
a lot of fun.
He definitely is a really big and good cook, I like to say.
Ooh, what do you like to make?
That's what I always tell everybody. It's like, for me, anything on the grill or stovetop's kind of my category, and then anything baking, I don't do pasta noodles. I do not do them correctly for my wife. Yeah, they have to be a certain texture, and I am not a pro at getting to that texture, and she lets me know that. So that's my downfall when it comes to the kitchen. But as far as like smoking meats or anything on the grill-based stuff like that, that's where I spend most of my off season. So
Let's go ahead and dive into some Rangers rapid fires. If you could have any celebrity throw out the first pitch, who would it be? Anyone in the world? Any celebrity, athlete?
Dallas is going to be really mad at me about this, but it's going to be Josh Allen.
You're really about to say that.
You know what? I feel like you and Jonah had that same answer.
Yeah, he's a big
Oh, he's from
Buffalo
Buffalo,
Bills
isn't he?
fan. I'm a diehard Buffalo Bills fan
Really?
from my wife, but
Yes.
be Josh Allen. That would be a thrill for me. So
Nice.
I actually saw online that he's autographed baseballs online, and I told her, I was like, I really want one, just because it's different and kind of a fangirling around Josh Allen. So
Well, Josh, if you're watching this, come out to Globe Life Field because we've had 2 players have that answer. So let us know. And finally, what is one word you would use to describe each other?
I think for me, I'm going to go 2 words, and I've said this.
How do you want?
I would say safety harness for me. And what I mean by that is, like, she brings me down to earth. She's been there for me for pretty much
Are
everything.
you
So
getting emotional?
yeah, a little bit. So I mean, just she's been through the ups and downs and everything, and then a lot of the stuff off the field that for me for a lot of things. So
It's amazing.
yeah.
What about you, Sarah?
Well, I was actually going to say passionate about everything, whether it's family or baseball.
So, Shawn, you signed with Texas at a free agency this offseason. Why was this organization the right fit for you and your family?
Well, first off, I mean, it was the first true big league offer we had, and that's what I made it very apparent to my agency. And when we sat down and talked about it this offseason, I didn't want to be like, especially having a newborn and everything else. I didn't want to wait until late January to sign, like for an offer, like for whatever's right. CY called and basically said they were interested, and within 24 hours later, they called and offered. And after talking with, I mean, I know the history behind Maddox. I know the longevity of his career. I mean, so like I respect him in that way. And then talking with Teagues and Bushy behind the scenes on their views of analytics and everything, and then the persistency of CY basically saying like we want to win. That's all. That's all. He's like, we're here to win. And I think every player getting later in their career and losing to Texas 2 years ago, going 0-2 in the wild card while I'm in Tampa, and seeing kind of the superstar offense that we have here and the people that are in the clubhouse, but not only like just the people, but the things they do, on and off the field. Like they come, like that's the expectation. And then you look at the core of our rotation with deGrom and Evaldi, and it's like, I texted her whenever I got to spring training, I was like, deGrom's my locker mate. And she's like,
He was fangirling
yeah,
so
she's
hard.
like, are you fangirling? I was like, of course. Like I've looked up to him like we debuted, similar times, but like his accolades and his history and the things that he does on the field. And then you have Evo, who in my opinion, quite possibly one of the best playoff pitchers of, the modern era of me playing. It's like being able to continue to develop and learn throughout my career and being able to follow kind of in their footsteps and seeing what they do on and off the field. And then the views and the perception this organization has from season to season. I mean, it kind of made it easy. And coming here and the way that they take care of wives, families, us as players, on and off the field, it's bar none, one of the best decisions I made this offseason.
Let's go back to being locker mates with deGrom. Could he tell that you were fangirling over him, or did you play it cool?
I told him straight up.
You did? How did that conversation go?
He started laughing. He's like, why? I was just like, I mean, you're Jacob deGrom, you know what I mean? And then like getting to know him on and off the field too, like over the course of the year, it's like, it's just been fun because like he turns that switch when the lights turn on, like, and he's a goofball in the clubhouse and he's awesome to be around. And, like funny story, actually, Evo's start, I think it was Tuesday, whenever he started, deGrom was in the barber chair and I felt like I made Evo mad because I went in there, I was like, oh, and I walked away and Evo took his name off the list. I was like, dude, you're starting. And deGrom gave me crap the entire day, like, you made Evo really mad. You made Evo, like, and I didn't make Evo mad, but after the game, I was like, well, Evo, I guess it's a good thing I pissed you off. Because I had a great night, but like just funny stuff like that. It's just they keep it level. They give everybody in the clubhouse, good grief. You know what I mean? Like it's a lot of fun. We pick on one another, have a good time, keep it light, and it's just a really good group to be around.
We're going to dive into the game that we play every single episode on Rangers Deep in the Heart. So I'm going to make a few statements, and Shawn and Sarah will have to hold up the foam finger if it's more applicable to Sarah because she's Shawn's #1 fan, or we'll hold up the baseball if it's more applicable to Shawn. Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Okay, no cheating. Who is more likely to pull an all-nighter at Disney World? Sarah? Okay. With the kids? Or like, were you a Disney adult before you guys had kids?
With the kids.
With the kids? Okay, that makes sense. Who's more likely to fall asleep during a movie? Shawn? Hey, you guys are 2 for 2 so far. Who takes longer to get ready? Sarah? 3 for 3? Who's more likely to get a tattoo? Shawn? Okay, real quick, going off of that, do you have a favorite tattoo?
Myself?
Yeah.
Yeah, my sleeve would be my favorite.
Is there a certain meaning behind it?
Past, present, and future.
No.
And I'm finishing it this offseason doing my daughter's zodiac symbol star. It's like the star accolades from the time she was born, and then it'll have something to do with Indian heritage since I'm part Cherokee as well.
That's amazing. Wow, really, really great meaning there. And finally, who is more likely to get up in front of a crowd and sing karaoke? Sarah, what would your karaoke song be?
I don't know. I'm trying to think of like the classic, but for some reason now all I can think about is Pink Pony
I was
Club.
gonna say Pink Pony Club. I feel like that's gonna be like the #1 karaoke
We'll go
song
with
in the
that.
world right
Yeah.
now.
I was gonna say it depends on if it's tequila or vodka.
Yeah, that's also true.
So what's
Maybe
the
Cardi B
difference
if it's tequila.
there? That's amazing. Looking for boots that work just as hard as you do? Justin Boots delivers rugged performance, timeless style, and over 145 years of Western tradition. Find your next perfect pair at justinboots.com. Aside from sharing a clubhouse together, how has being on the same pitching staff as guys like Nathan Eovaldi and Jacob deGrom made you a better pitcher?
I think it challenges you, like, especially whenever your name's called in the bullpen after coming, after they've sat there and give you 6, 7 innings. Like we talked about it, a few months ago whenever we skipped a few starts for deGrom to give him a blow. It's like, and I said it in the post-game interviews, like our whole starting staff's been dogs, like, and carrying the weight that they've carried throughout this year and, allowing the bullpen to have rest when we need rest. And then obviously us picking them up whenever they need picked up. It's one unit, one goal, and I think that's what's carried us through this year. And it's going to carry us to where we want to be in October. So like, I think it challenges every single one of us. And I think like, as far as like Jack Leiter, for instance, being able for him to develop behind those two, he'll talk about that for the rest of his career, being able to like see how diligent they are day in and day out and how they're into it whenever they're on the mound. Like you see it, like, and I think it challenges everyone because they are so good, and it makes us want to step up to the occasion, step up to the outing, whatever it may be, to, continue their success whenever they take the ball out of their hand.
What has been the biggest either improvement or adjustment that you've made while you've been working on that aspect of your game, being around those guys every day?
I think the biggest thing is something that we talked about last year, and that's not riding the emotional roller coaster. Like when it's good, when it's good, when it's bad, when it's bad. Like, like when you step off the field and, you're not between the lines, like let it go. And I think that both of them do a really good job. Like deGrom, for instance, was tipping pitches one outing, and within 24 hours he had a new glove. And it's like, that's the same glove he's used forever, but it's like, it is what it is. Like, just being able to make the adjustments, and then also like understanding, like, and actually you talked about tattoos earlier. It's like, I actually have a tattooed on me, never fear failure. It's all according to God's plan. Like failure is going to happen. A Hall of Famer fell 7 out of 10 times whenever he's at the dish. Now, pitcher fell 7 out of 10 times, we probably don't have a job. But at the same time, like, it's a long game. And if you ride the ups and downs emotionally of how you're happy or you're sad, like you're only going to beat yourself up and you're only going to shorten your career. And she's made it very apparent to me whenever it comes, as I have done. I struggled a lot last year, and it's just like, just have fun with it. You never know when it's going to be your last.
Sarah, when Shawn has a great outing or not so great outing, do you see a difference in him when he's at home with you and the kids?
Kind of like he said, I think last year we kind of struggled with it a little bit, and it's only because, last year we had a 3-year-old at home who could care less about how you threw, how the game went, if you won or lost. And that kind of opened our eyes a lot. This year, I think, has been, he's the same guy on the field as he is off the field. Like, basically, like, no, he's done a great job of just being present and leaving it here. And I've always said, if you want to hang out in the clubhouse for a while after the game, get out whatever you need to get out and then come home and be dad. Like, I'm all for that. But he's done such a good job of it this year.
Good. That's great to hear. Let's talk about your kids, because you guys are busy in season and in the off season as well. We'll get to more of that here in a bit. But what does an average day on a 7:05 home game look like in the Armstrong household?
Well, we have quite the early riser, whether he goes to bed at 8 or 12 at night. He's up pretty early. I try to let this one sleep a little bit if I can, because I know he has to perform that night usually. Lots of fresh air, T-ball.
Yeah,
He could play with Hot Wheels for probably hours, honestly. That's always been his thing.
Yeah, it's him waking up, tapping you on the nose, saying, he's obsessed with fruit pouches. That's his thing. And then he wants to get in bed with you and snuggle and watch a movie for a little bit. And then once Miss Priss is up, it's time to go out in the living room, make coffee, him play cars. We try not to do cartoons till a certain time. I'm guilty. I do it a lot whenever I get home on the road.
That's fair. That's the thing, is these guys go to bed so late and they wake up and they got to be dad before they go to the
Yeah.
field at night.
I think Declan's favorite thing though is like when I get home is waking up and probably making pancakes and salt. Like he's obsessed with like helping make pancakes.
their thing.
Ew.
That's his thing. And then it's either baseball, soccer, wall ball, pool, or riding the bike somewhere. So like,
Or sometimes they're doing cards together.
yeah, or we're doing cards, one or the other. So he's obsessed with doing that with me too. That's actually what we did last night in bed is he wanted to read every Marvel character card that he had. So I was like,
Yeah, we've now moved on to like Avengers
Yeah.
cards, not baseball
Wow.
cards.
I always see you guys playing cards when I go down for Media Clubhouse availability. Who would you say on the Rangers roster right now is the best at cards?
depends on the game. If you're going dominoes, I'm probably going to have to go Garcia because he seems to take Jock and Simeon's money quite a bit. If we're going cribbage, Rowdy swears he's number one in the world in cribbage, but me and Josh are 1-0 against him. That's the only time I played him. I told him, like, I got my victory. I'm not coming back. As far as we don't play a lot of cards like that. It's kind of your small group. I don't play a lot of cards in the clubhouse. I mean, when we're traveling, we play a lot of cards. And I think it goes several ways in regards to who's the best. I mean, it's a lot of fun, but Jock's a really good card player. I will hand him that, and so is Marcus Simeon. So like those two are probably two of the best. I can't really read either one of them whenever we're playing poker and stuff like that.
That's the point.
Good poker faces.
Good poker faces, but also very knowledgeable with cards and the odds and counting cards and stuff like that.
Wow.
They're pretty good at it. So I'll give it to them too.
And so the two of you have Armstrong Performance in North Carolina. How do you guys juggle co-owning a business during the chaos of a baseball season?
I think it's gotten easier. What was it
Yeah.
last year or the year before that we were like, this is a lot. I don't know
Yeah.
how we're going to do this during season because we have to travel with so much of our like merchandise. So we basically have it like busting out of our front office.
Yeah, that's
So he can send off packages and stuff like while he's in season.
yeah. I mean, and we've slowed down quite a bit in regards to the weighted ball and armband, like selling stuff, and that's also like we haven't advertised as much just because of how much it was last year. I think we ended up taking I think it was like 400 sets to season last year,
Wow.
which is equivalent to, roughly, I think it's like 2,400 weighted balls, and we sold out within the first 4 months. And it was like running us ragged going to the
Which is great. Yeah, we're totally blessed.
no complaints, but
But
it's
it's a
like
lot.
at the same time, like this is my path right now. Like obviously weighted balls and stuff is a passion, something that I want to do and everything, but like we've kind of passed it off to like sister facilities now. So like we were supposed to open up our own space and we had some things happen. And it's like, well, I think it's a blessing in disguise. Let's wait to open our facility till we're truly done.
Mm-hmm.
So we've partnered with, roughly 10 to 12 facilities, and we kind of distribute all of our stuff there, and they sell our merchandise for us. And we do individual sales still with, colleges and everything. That's the big thing I do now is partner with colleges and everything and selling the weighted balls. And then all of our, we sponsor a bunch of leagues. And then my assistant, Logan Bender, who works out of the Performance Academy in Raleigh, he's kind of taken control of the majority of my clientele so that way they can have someone in person, the other 9 months that I'm gone. And I still train them whenever I'm home at my house, but it's been a lot of fun and really cool to see them, continue to develop. And some of the guys are getting looked at by pro scouts, and a lot of them are being offered full ride school scholarships now. So it's a lot of fun to be a part of.
So Shawn, something that you've been really involved with is Big League Impact, which was founded by Adam Wainwright in 2023. What inspired you to get involved with it?
So I started doing a little bit with Tampa with Jason Adam, who now does it with the San Diego Padres. And I thought it was pretty cool because every city you go to, you have a different opportunity. And it's never the same, objective, I would guess you could say, where we go to. And the cool part too is like we haven't done anything in Dallas. And people ask like, well, why haven't you done anything locally? And it's like, well, the opposing teams come in and it gives them an opportunity to kind of go out in the community with Rangers fans. And pretty cool experience. Like we've done Seattle twice this year, and her name's Alma. She's a sweet lady that works at Pike Food Market. And she came in the first time wearing a Seattle Mariners jersey and just talking pure junk to us. And me and Frazier, one of the guys that helps us with the bullpen team, we thought it was amazing. It's like, we don't care who you cheer for. We just want baseball fans.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the cool part of going to, like, we've done We've done food markets. We've done feed my starving children, where you do things and you do little like dry food packs, and it goes all over to like the world. It's not even in the U.S. Like, and you get to see where the meals you pack that day go to. Um, and a lot of the things we do are like recovery clinics. That's something big that, like, the latest we did in LA. It's the first time we went there, but we actually went there and cooked them breakfast, and it's all recovering homeless people because of how expensive, housing is in Orange County and everything. And they give them an opportunity to come there as long as they're clean, following the rules, like that type of stuff. And it's just to see their faces, when they come there. It's like, oh, well, you guys play professional baseball. Like, why are you here? And it's like, well, why not? We're still normal people. And so, like, just being able to go all over the country and see all of the things demographically and all the different people, and then hear all the stories and stuff like that. And it hits home for me for some other things in regards to the situations that we kind of deal with. It's a blessing for us to be able to go back and give back, twice on the road. And it's two different cities. And again, we never know what we're going to get, and we never know the people we're going to meet. And I think that also makes it kind of like inspiring for us, because, like, of course we get to go play under the lights and we have a great job and all that kind of stuff, but seeing people that are struggling day in and day out and being able to go back and just give them, an hour and a half, 2 hours of our time, it's a lot of fun.
Sarah, what does that show you about the person that Shawn is?
I mean, I've always known he's had such a big heart, but I really am so proud of him, and I tell him that all the time this season because I know there's days where he could sleep in because he doesn't get to here, but he's getting up and going and grinding, delivering groceries or packing stuff, cooking. I'm really proud of him. I think it's been really great this year. I wasn't aware of how big of a deal it was going to be this year and how much time he was actually going to spend working for him, but I think it's been great.
Built for the bold, the Frontier collection from Justin blends classic Western style with modern edge. With sleek looks and premium leathers, these boots are ready for anything. Find your Frontier today at justinboots.com. So this season, you've been one of the most active players, with going to 7 different cities on the road, which was really impressive. Why is it a priority for you to help others?
I mean, I think that just obviously big league impact, something that Adam started, and the story behind it and the reasons behind it, and just for us to be able to give back to each community. I think that's just something that baseball doesn't get recognized enough for, like, because there's a lot of players that do a lot of good off the field. And I think it's also one of those things where, like, we don't truly want the spotlight. Like, that's not what we're in it for. We're in it just to kind of fulfill a need for us, like, just to be able to, like, because, like, we don't have time to give back. And then, like, when we go home in the off season, it's like, man, we've been traveling for 7 months. Like, most of us, like, we just stay in our house, like, we don't leave. And I think just the inspiration to be able to go and see different people, and again, like, it hitting back home, with me a little bit for some different situations and everything, and being able to kind of correlate that to see other people's perspectives helps me kind of also understand that too. And then obviously the reason that I'm doing, Big League Impact with JR98 and being able to help them, which is a great organization on mental health and suicide prevention, trying to get that word out there. And, the cause behind that, I'm sure, like, people could read it more on the story, but we lost a bullpen catcher in Tampa to suicide. And, like, it's one of those things where, like, I told Sarah, he was always the happiest person in the clubhouse. He was always, like, the first person, you had a bad outing or something, to pick you up. He was always the guy, like, doing some type of art and cleats on shoes, and, like, that you could just see where his passion was. And, like, to hear that, and it happened, right here in Dallas, like, it just kind of, when I was looking for an organization to kind of partner with for Big League Impact, I was like, it's a no-brainer. It's here, it's home, like, it's where the Rangers are. Both of his parents, they still live here in Fort Worth. So, like, the work that they do to make that, organization go round, like, traveling all
They're
over the
amazing.
world. Like, they're the sweetest people in the world. And again, obviously they're big Tampa Bay Rays fan. That's who helped start the organization, but they're baseball fans.
I always see that graphic whenever you're pitching. They roll it before every game too, about you donating back. I think it's every strikeout you donate something back to that foundation. So can you tell me a little bit more about the impact that you want to make with that foundation and
Yeah.
what you do when you're on the mound?
I think it's just like the mental health and suicide stuff, like, it's not something that people really want to talk about. I mean, it's because it's a touchy subject, like, regardless of whether you know someone that have done that or, whatever the situation may be. I just think that it's a topic that's not discussed enough. And yeah, we donate $10 for every strikeout, and then we donate $100 for every win that the Rangers have. And then just hoping that it just continues to blow up and develop for them and give them a little more financial stability in regard to being able to make, mental health a priority and just more known inside the community. Because I think so many people struggle with it that don't even realize they struggle with it. And then also so many people struggle with it that don't want to talk about it.
Mhm.
And I think like one of their slogans that JR98 uses, like, it's okay to be uncomfortable. Like, it's like uncomfortable feelings and uncomfortable conversations are necessary. And I think that the more people understand that is like being uncomfortable is like it's an okay thing. Like, and I think that being able to be uncomfortable and have deep conversations with people allow you to kind of reflect on yourself, but then at the same time, like, get that off your chest. And mental health's a big thing. I mean, I've struggled with it throughout my career, and I think athletes as a whole, like, sure, we make a lot of money, but like, no one wants to lose. Everyone wants to go out there and be 100%, but like, in reality, that's not going to happen.
I do
So,
think in that regard, it's being talked about a lot more this year than it's ever been
yeah,
talked about before. And I don't know if that's just because more guys are kind of coming out and being like, this actually happens all the time, and no one's really talking about it. 'Cause at the end of the day, these guys are human, and they're dads, their sons, their brothers, and
yeah, for sure. I mean, that's like the Durant situation in Boston, like that Netflix documentary. Like I went up and gave him a hug whenever we were in Boston. I don't even know the dude, but it's like, excuse my language, but it takes big balls to talk about that in front of a camera. Like you literally had a gun to your, like, and didn't pull the trigger. It's just like people having the capacity to talk about that in camera. I think that inspired so many people for him to do that. And I think that that's one thing, this organization, they're trying to do. And anything that I can do to, maybe one fan sees it and it helps them, like, it's like that's what it's all about.
It's interesting that you bring up Jaron Durant because something that I think about is Drew Robinson because he was with the organization for a while as well, and just being so open about his mental health struggles and his journey too. And I think that it is something across baseball that is definitely being more widely discussed, but there's obviously a ways to go as well. So I'm so sorry for your loss, but I'm so happy that you're able to use your platform in the way that you are to spread awareness and impact others' lives.
No, absolutely. I mean, that's what it's about. Like, use the platform for a good, and maybe it'll help someone else. That's what it's here for.
Finally, Shawn, there have been a lot of conversations, especially in the baseball world, around mental health. And whether you play baseball or you don't play baseball, mental health is something that impacts so many different people. So what would your advice be to those that might be watching this show that could be struggling right now?
I mean, I think the biggest thing is find your passion. Like, find your passion, love what you do, enjoy it every day. And again, like the tattoo I have, like, never fear failure. Failure is a part of life. It's going to happen. Learn from your mistakes, and at the end of the day, like, find your why. That's the biggest thing. Is like, why am I here? What purpose am I here? What purpose do I serve? And then don't be afraid to look in the mirror and ask yourself a question. And then the other people that are standing around you, doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is the view of yourself and your drive, your passion, and your why. I think that's the biggest thing. Whenever at the end of the day, that's what truly, truly matters.
That's great advice. Well, thank you guys again for both coming on the show. You guys have a lot of great things to plug. So can you plug Armstrong Performance, the charities that you're involved with? What are some links down below that we can plug for Rangers fans so they can get more information?
I mean, for Armstrong Performance, it's, just arm-strongperformance.com. That's where we're at. And same thing for our Instagram. We also have JR98 linked to my Instagram as well. They have a great foundation. If you go to JR98 for just their Instagram hashtag or whatever, their profile will pop up. And if you go to their website, it'll give you a list of all their future events that they're doing. They do a lot of like 5K runs, 3K runs, baseball tournaments, like auctions, live auctions, silent auctions, all type of things where you can give back. And they're also always looking for ambassadors for athletes. So like I was actually an ambassador for them when I was with Tampa before, and it costs you nothing. They just want you to rep their gear, take pictures, and spread the word. So like that's something for them. And again, it's a wonderful family. So they're willing to help anyone in need. So like if you or yourself or you know someone that needs help with mental health or suicide prevention, reach out to them, reach out to me, and I'll get you in contact with them as well.
Amazing. Well, thank you guys again for joining the show, for all of your advocacy that you're doing both on and off the field. Rangers fans, make sure to click all of the links down below. Show Sarah and Shawn some of your support for all the great things that they're doing. We'll see you next time.